guest is going to arrive in a minute. Request all of you to please stand. I repeat, chief guest is going to arrive in a minute. Request all of you to please stand. Please be silent.
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of SDSC-SHAR, we extend a hearty welcome to respected Chief Guest, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. Request all to rise for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Before proceeding to the formal function, let us invoke the blessings of God Almighty. We invite Srimati Pranishwari Devi, Space Central School for the invocation. All are requested to rise for a prayer song.
सिन्दूराभं त्रिनेत्रं पृथुतरजठरं हस्तपद्मैदधानं दान्तं पाशाङ्कुशेष्ठानिरुकलविलश बीजभूरा विभामं भालेन्दुद्योत मोलिन् करिपतिवदनं दानभूराद्रगन्धं भोगेन्द्राबद्धभूषन् भजबत गणपतिं रक्तवस्त्रांगरागं रक्तवस्त्रांगरागम्।
Thank you all. We feel honored to have with us the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu as our chief guest. We welcome you for your gracious presence here today, sir. I consider it a great honor to welcome distinguished scientist Shri A. Rajarajan, Director SDSC-SHAR. We welcome you, sir.
We welcome Sri T.S. Raghuram, Deputy Director, SOSC. Welcome, sir. We extend a heartfelt welcome to respected dignitaries, invited guests, students from various schools and colleges to the inaugural function of World Space Week celebrations 2022.
Encouragement, enthusiasm, excellency is one of the major aspects of the organization with an object of encouraging the spirit of research and innovation. Indian Space Research Organization, SDSC-SHAR, Sriharikota, feels proud to host the event World Space Week 2022. World Space Week is an international celebration of science and technology and their contribution to the betterment of human condition. The day when the first ever human-made satellite Sputnik rewrote the indomitable scientific spirit of humans, it was the landmark created by mankind. So it is worth remembering and worth celebrating because since the launch of Sputnik, India grew up to launch of multiple satellites in different orbits with a single takeoff.
The celebrations will be held throughout the year based on a theme, and this year's theme for World Space Week celebrations is Space and Sustainability. SDSC-SHAR Sriharikota took the responsibility of conducting this program to propagate the benefits of Indian space program to majority of scientific, academic and general public in selected townships of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Orissa and Puducherry at 8 venues. Goddess Saraswati is an embodiment of wisdom, knowledge and learning. Let us implore our goddess with the ritual of lamp lighting. I humbly request Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu to come forward for the traditional lamp lighting. I also request all dignitaries to join him.
May I now request Shri R. Sendil Kumar, Deputy Director MSA and Chairman World Space Week 2022 Organizing Committee to formally welcome the gathering.
Good morning to all. On this August occasion, I'd like to welcome our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, who had readily accepted our request for accepting to come over here and inaugurate this World Space Week 2022 function being organized by Satish Dhawan Space Center on behalf of ISRO. Welcome you, sir, for this August function. We really cherish your presence here, and we will make this occasion a grand success owing to your presence here. And I also welcome our director, beloved director, Sri A. Rajarajan sir, whose guidance has made this event start in time and exactly as per the schedule. I welcome Sri Srinivasal Reddy Garu, our controller, SDSC, for the guidance given and to grace this occasion. I also welcome all the SAMC members who are present here, the state government officials, our SCC members, and our SDSC colleagues, our JCM leaders, school children, ladies and gentlemen, all of you, and the governor's entourage, you had come over here along with him to this function. Sir, you would have seen a lot of explosive events in your erstwhile tenure as interlocutor in Meghalaya, and we also silently are handling explosive material here in a very controlled manner and producing one of the world's largest solid mortars here. In addition to the assembly works of all the solid mortar and liquid stage elements here in SHAR, which are coming from our own ISRO work centers and other centers from spread around India. And leave alone the satellites, a delicate object that also is coming here, converging here, and propellant filling for the satellite and final checks are done and getting integrated to the vehicle, and launch is occurring here. India being the spaceport, only spaceport, so it has got its own unique situation and location here, and we are very happy to welcome to this location, sir. When I happened to go on behalf of Director SHAR to invite our governor in Raj Bhavan, he had shown keen interest in the activities, what is going on in ISRO in general, and particularly Satish Dhawan Space Center in particular, and again on what exactly we do on World Space Week activities. He was very much appreciative of the efforts being taken by us and also guided in further reaching the primary school children, specifically in inculcating their interest in science by way of various activities which we can definitely put forth and improve upon and achieve the needs of all the elders. Sir, this Satish Dhawan Space Center is named after our first generation space scientist, Dr. Satish Dhawan, and it is befitting that this hall is also in the name of one other veteran, Mr. M.R. Kurup, who had toiled and brought this island to this shape today. We all stand tall on the achievements made by our elders in ISRO, and we carry the legacy of ISRO further based on our guidance. Once again, I thank you and welcome all to this August gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the welcome address. As a token of respect, we request distinguished scientist Sri A. Rajarajan, Director SDSC-SHAR, to felicitate our chief guest, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu.
Based on World Space Week 2022 theme, Space and Sustainability, many competitions were organized and a small video is prepared showcasing the glimpses of World Space Week 2021 celebrations conducted at various locations, and also the planned events for the year at different locations. With this, I request Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu to release the teaser video.
We invite Sri M. Srinivasulu Reddy, Controller SDSC-SHAR, to address the gathering.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Shri Ravindra Narayan Raviji, respected Director SDSC-SHAR, Shri A. Rajarajan, Chairman World Space Week Organizing Committee Chairman Committee, Shri Senthil Kumar, Deputy Director SOSC, Shri Raghuram, all the SAMC members of SHAR, press and media, service body representatives, state government officials, children from various schools, and my dear colleagues, namaste to all. Last year, this event, World Space Week, we have celebrated, the events we have conducted online, and we have only celebrated the function. But this year, we are celebrating all the things and in physical mode. So for this, first, I salute the medical fraternity who enabled us to celebrate this function physically. I just want to recollect what is the purpose of celebration of this event, because it is somewhere in Russia, they have launched the satellite and we are celebrating World Space Week. The basic purpose is to what is the development in the human conditions that brought by space science and technology, and to educate people on the benefits we receive from space, and to gain public support for the space program, and to encourage use of space for sustainable economic development. And most important, acknowledging the great accomplishments of thousands of scientists and people in the space sector, and how it has catalyzed the economic and overall growth of the world. Today, the benefits of space technology are enjoyed by each and every one. Today, we are using the navigation, GPS system or NAVIC system very extensively by everybody. So every human being on this planet is using every day, every minute for space technology. Right from weather forecasting, disaster management, DTH, remote sensing, communication, navigation, and so on. Recently, various cutting-edge technologies that are used in rocket and spacecrafts are commercialized and being used in the day-to-day life. ISRO has made every Indian proud by making India self-reliant in all these fields. ISRO also supporting other countries by launching spacecrafts. As a token of acknowledgement to the contributions of ISRO, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu has agreed and came to SHAR for the inauguration of World Space Week 2022. His august presence itself is a honor to each and every employee of SDSC-SHAR. On behalf of all the employees of SDSC-SHAR, I thank you very much for gracing the occasion, sir. This year's theme for World Space Week is Space and Sustainability, which is very apt as the space sector is moving towards more commercial exploitations like low Earth orbit satellite constellations, space tourism, and so on. So we have to wake up now only to have a sustainable space technology. A harmony between human and nature will only lead us to sustainable development. A very healthy debate and awareness activities on this subject is the need of the hour. SDSC-SHAR has planned various programs in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and Odisha in its public outreach programs to make the public aware of various developments in space sector in India, the future plans of ISRO, and worldwide happenings in the space sector. I am sure this will immensely benefit all the scientific community and student community in particular in these districts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the inspiring talk on heritage of space sector and ISRO. Now we invite distinguished scientist Sri A. Rajarajan, Director, SDSC-SHAR, for the presidential address.
A very good morning to one and all. Today's chief guest, our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri R.N. Ravi, Controller SDSC-SHAR, Chairman of World Space Week 2022 SDSC Organizing Committee, Sri T.S. Raghuram, Deputy Director SOIC and Local Organizing Committee Chairman, dignitaries of the dais, my dear colleagues, service body members, colleagues, dear students, and all those colleagues from this center as well as from the other centers who is stationed here at SHAR. The press and media, ladies and gentlemen, once again a good morning to one and all. Thank you for coming, even though it's a holiday, for the students mainly. Even though World Peace Week is being celebrated every year, each year we celebrate with a specific theme, as the previous speakers has told. Actually, this theme is being decided based on the current affairs, more focused on the most of the space agencies and space activities. You may be all aware in SDSC-SHAR, I think everybody is maybe aware. The theme is space and sustainability. And different people of different organizations will have a different take on this space and sustainability. Some people may take means of space for sustaining in planet, because there is an SDG group has told us Sustainability Development Program, and the theme is on planet. How do the planet will have a sustainable development? Today, as the things goes, it is not only the technology that has to be developed, but that technology has to sustain the civilization in a much more harmonious manner, so that we can live peacefully and without any issue with any environmental impact. That is the more theme. So the sustainability thing come whenever you look at any technology that is being thought of or being developed. So with that as the theme, what we see is today, as human kind is always wants more. This is one species where we all belong to. We'll never have anything enough of it in a very holistic manner if you look at it. So the commercial space industry is growing rapidly in recent years as it has understood the potential of space-based applications, the space-based platforms that can provide innumerable services and improve the quality of life. And when that comes, everybody jumps into this bandwagon, and number of spacecraft or number of orbiting vehicle systems that have been put in space is now increasing manifold, and it is putting a challenge. It is like when you have only a single lane road, you have only some 40 to 50 automobiles in the road, the traffic seems to be okay and it's good. No, these roads are not good, we are trying to improve. And when we try to go from a single line to 2 lane, 4 lines, 6 lane, even 8 lane, 12 lane traffic, the vehicles are increasing as we increase the generation of the vehicle, first generation vehicle, second generation vehicle, third generation vehicle. The roads are being improved in the first generation, second generation. The traffic becomes heavier, and you can see the accidents also increases. The risk is higher, even though the mobility has increased. I used to have this theme always, that when you took almost 6 months to reach London from India 150 years back, today we take only 6 hours. So same way, when you take 10 months to reach Mars, you may, in another 50 years or 100 years, 80 years, you may reach in, say, 10 days to Mars. That is possible, that maybe the technology will improve. But as it goes, the accidents, the risk factor, the reliability factor in the traffic highway also increases. So SDSC-SHAR is mainly looking at how do we give a sustainable space-related orient, and towards this only we are used to develop multi-object tracking radar and so many things in our place to do this. Increased commercialization has enabled cost-effective access to space. Constellation of hundreds and thousands of satellites, like OneWeb, so many people are deploying, nearly 650 satellites. SpaceX launches around 2,000 Starlink satellites in the near orbit of 450 kilometers to 600 kilometers orbit. As this benefits of commercialization, what are the issues? Huge amount of debris, effects of rocket emissions on the upper outer atmosphere, and the population in the Earth. Today, we have to work, earlier we should require a launch, we have a launch window of 30 minutes, 1 hour. Today we have reached a place where we have a launch window of 1 second. We have only 1 second through which we have to start launching our launch vehicle. If you delay it by 1 second, we have to postpone the launch. That is how we have come to. That means so many things are going around in our space. How do we manage this? what kind of governing system that we can put in these areas. This is one area of controlling and regulating and understanding where we are, where is the space, and through which we have to give a sustainable development for urban planning, strategic area, land mining, fishing, mining, even drainage areas, the minerals available. We are still reach the full potential of the irrigation improvement that we can do by water harvesting, dam putting. So many applications are available which has to tap with this. This is where we have to think of the space sustainability in that area. As we have to make sure that outer space is used for the peaceful purpose and also the socio-economic benefits in a long-term area. The question comes, how to enable this? This is what I used to ask all the young generations, to think with a out-of-the-box solutions of how do we do and how do we sustain this development. And here is where we have to make every technology that can be put in a very low-cost method and make the space safe, secure, and fit. In 2010, UN Corpus has established a working group on long-term sustainability of the outer space activity, and still is going on. As we concentrate, we have to start looking at space situational awareness, and we are building technology and infrastructure. Many startups have come with very innovative ideas in how do we do the space surveillance and do a situational awareness program in a very, very effective way. Some of the solutions that have been brought up by the very young minds are mind-boggling that they are going leaps and bounds, which we also have to incorporate. Now, many startups have come with very innovative ideas in launch vehicle and spacecraft. As we go further, we also should be able to handhold with the industries and how to make better and better launch vehicles and spacecraft for us to sustain ourselves. As we do this, some of the given areas of MOTR, and this one comes into my mind, and we have to work here. Today, when we are talking all this, who else has seen different situations and problems? How do we come that our chief guest, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, who has worked in different areas and worked out of the different comfort zones and found some innovative solutions to many, many difficult, vexing problems that we faced. And he brought out some solutions, and this one, which was lasting, and that is a wonderful thing. And I found that when we decided who should be, we felt that our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu is one of the most apt persons in today's world to think of out-of-the-box solutions and come with these things, and who else can address and start our Space Week program in a better way. I thank you, sir, for sparing your time, for coming over here for this wonderful time. Let us see how we bring solutions, both from SDSC-SHAR in space situational awareness and having a precise launches over the years. How do we improve further and further? And let us have a good sustainable program as in the coming years. Wish you all the best in the coming years and do well. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening speech. We are profoundly delighted to take the opportunity to introduce the chief guest, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. He born at Patna in Bihar, and he did his master's degree in physics in 1974. After a brief stint in journalism, joined the Indian Police Service in 1976. While serving in Central Bureau of Investigation, he led several anti-corruption crusades against organized criminal gangs, including the mining mafias in the country. He was the architect of India's international cooperation in counter-terrorism and intelligence sharing. He was appointed as the chairman of Joint Intelligence Committee in the Prime Minister's office, whereas head of the intelligence community, he coordinated and guided the agencies to meet the national security needs of the country. He was appointed as the center interlocutor for the Naga peace talks in August 2014 and as Deputy National Security Advisor in October 2018. He served as the Governor of Nagaland from 1st August 2019 till 16th September 2021. He has been appointed as the Governor of Tamil Nadu by Honorable President of India and assumed the office as 26th Governor of Tamil Nadu on 18th September 2021. Sir, we are extremely privileged and honored to have you with us today, and we invite Chief Guest of today's program, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, to deliver his address. Welcome you, sir.
Sri A. Rajarajan, Director, Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sri Harikota, Sri M. Srinivasalu Reddy, Controller, Sri T.S. Raghuram, Deputy Director, Safety Operations, Sri R. Senthil Kumar, Chairman of the World Space Week and the Deputy Director, distinguished scientists, all the supporting staff, members of SHAR family, their family members, my dear students. At the very outset, I would like to thank Director Sri A. Rajarajan for giving me this opportunity to share these moments with the best, with the brightest, and the sharpest mind of the country and indeed the world. You, when I say you, includes your predecessors, have made this country proud and stand tall in the Committee of Nations in the field of space. On this day, 4th October 1957, when Sputnik was launched, the first rocket, I was a class 2 student, I was a second grade student, studying in a village school. There was not much communication, there was no TV, there was no mobile phone, there was nothing of that sort. Rarely we could see an aircraft in the air, space. Not like to have a crowded space, the airspace today. But yet, the development of a rocket going into the space was a kind of perhaps the weirdest fantasy happening. And it has affected practically everyone. And I remember it was the buzz even in the village. The farmers, not very literate. And yet something is happening. Russia had sent something in a space, outer space, means the stars, the moon. Now that excitement, it kindled a lot of fantasy, a lot of imagination, a lot of, stimulated interest in the mind of young minds all over. But at that point of time, our country was in the grip of deprivations all over. Poverty is stark. We were very frequently facing famine. I remember as a student in the hostel, we used to talk about a scarcity of ration. That was the day. We used to get food from other countries. Today, of course, we are feeding the hungry people in large number of countries we have got, thanks to our agricultural scientists that we have reached the stage. Health, pestilence, very often there will be outbreak of epidemic and people who die in thousands. We had deprivations all around because the British had left this country in a state of total ruination. It wasn't the case in this country ever. And for many of us, those who have not read the past, or perhaps not read the past correctly, I would urge you to go on the internet, read the report of OECD countries. You know who OECD are, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. This is the club of the rich and wealthy. They had commissioned a study on the world economy for the last 2,000 years. Angus Anderson was the leader of the team, economic historian. And the report is there available right from the 1st century AD. Until the 18th century, India was the economic powerhouse of the world. 30% of the GDP was India's GDP. There was no America, there was no Europe. We have not been told about these things. We have not been taught about these things. Instead, we have been talked about the virtues of the British rule. Actually, they destroyed our education, they destroyed our industry, they destroyed our agriculture, and made us believe that we have nothing to be proud of our past. But that's not the case. It was a glorious past. But by the time they left, we were in a total mess. And in that backdrop, when the country was struggling with the limited resources to meet the basic needs of our citizens, and at the time our population was hardly about 300 million. You know, when this 1962, when the Chinese aggression happened, and the nation when they rose, and we used to sing song as a small kids, that Himalaya is calling the 30 crores people of India. That was our population, and yet we were not able to meet the basic needs of our people. In that backdrop, someone thinking about the space, someone thinking about the potential benefits of a space for the people of our country. Imagine the kind of visionaries that they were. I am referring to Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Country didn't have the resources. With the best of intentions, country would not have afforded it. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, for him a space was not an area, a domain of experimentation and fantasy. But essentially, he was moved by the problem faced by our country, the problem of poverty, problem of sickness, health. And he realized that these problems were all rooted in lack of education. And such a large country with more than 5 lakhs villages at that point of time, how do you bring education to villages? And what motivated him at that point of time was, look at the idea, thinking at the time when people were just throwing rocks, sending rockets at advanced countries, USA and USSR, to experiment. He thought of launching a satellite from where a central station education material can be uploaded and it can be downloaded to all the villages, and people could be educated. Youth could be educated, the farmers could be educated, veterinarians to be educated. All those, that was the idea which moved him to go into this space, domain. And look at the genius of that man. At that point of time, convincing the political leadership to agree to this idea, which must have seemed outlandish at that point of time. But to make the political leadership agree to it. And then, where was the resources? We didn't have the know-how. We didn't have the capital. We had virtually nothing. And in a situation where the world was divided and the two enemies of the Cold War, this great man made both of them cooperate with us and help us in building our space program. I mean, he was not just a great scientist. He was not just a great visionary. He was a great leader who could convince the political leadership of the country of the need of the space program, who could convince the warring enemies, bitter enemies on the two sides, to help cooperate with us in building our program. And then this program began in 1963. I vividly remember when we heard the news that Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was no more. I was a degree student. We were all shocked. There was a sense of all-pervasive mourning in the whole country. There was a sense of shock, collective shock. But then, the leaders like Professor Satish Dhawan, they came and they filled in. With his team, and the space program took off. It carried on. And with the work, with the dedication of our space scientists, today, India is proud to be standing tall in the Committee of Nations when it comes to the space domain. It is thanks to you all people and your predecessors who have very, very silently working in a back of the beyond place, away from the comfort of the cities, and with full dedication, not only lifting the heavy weight of this rocket, but also lifting the mood of the country and the status of the country in the Committee of Nations. The world looks at India today with respect and expectation when it comes to a space domain. And I like to say again that we are all, the whole country is very, very proud of you. You, those who are working and doing these incredible things. This year, the theme is sustainability in a space, or a space and sustainability. You put it either way, because it's sustainability on the ground, on the earth, as well as sustainability in the space. Both are equally important. And you will be deliberating over this in the coming 1 week. In this, India has a leading role to play. You know, even when it came to the climate change, the climate crisis that we all talk about is just looming on the horizon. And there are several island countries which are apprehensive of getting deluged, drowned in next couple of decades if the global warming continues. The countries which mostly contributed to it, and they did so by the reckless exploitation of resources of the earth. We are not very sure how serious they are even today in containing this. There are some who even deny it. Well, if you close your eyes and refuse to see, what can be done? But in this situation, it is this country, it is India, which took the lead. For this environment protection, for the climate preservation, in 2016, this country, under a very dynamic and visionary leadership, took a decision to move fast towards renewable, clean energy. At the time, many people thought it was a fantasy, it was unachievable. How could you do that? When the target was fixed in 2016 that by 2025 India would have been producing 100 gigawatt of clean energy. It was an incredible target. And you all know that we achieved it last year, September, 1 year ahead. 1 year back, midway. And now our target is by 2030 we will have 500 gigawatt of clean energy. And our target, as we all know, that by 2070 we will have absolutely hydrocarbon free energy. This country has demonstrated the capacity of its countrymen and women, that if we decide with resolve, we can achieve the incredible. And this country, for it, when we talk about sustainable development, sustainable environment, sustainable space, it is not just a slogan. It is in the sanskar of our people. Because in India, unlike in the West, our view of life, our view of creation is not anthropocentric. You all know that anthropocentric view, it believes that humans are at the center of creation and the rest of the creation is for the pleasure, enjoyment of the human being. We don't believe that. For us, we are an element of creation, integrally connected with the rest. We are not the master of creation. We are organically connected, one element of the creation. And this thought has been with us since the long time, since the Vedic period, nearly 5,000 years before the Common Era. We believed that the whole creation is like a tree and its million of leaves, no two leaves alike. Nature does not replicate. And yet, all the leaves are integrally connected, organically connected with the tree. If the tree perishes, leaves cannot survive. That has been our worldview. This has been our spiritual appreciation of creation and the world. So when it comes to use of resources, we don't say exploitation. Of course, nowadays, because of the English vocabulary and dominance of the English writers and thinkers, we have been started using the word exploitation. But this is not the right word that we have been using. We use the resources. Even in villages, you will see many areas, people go and cut the tree, they seek the forgiveness. That we need you, that's why we are doing it. Commercialization has taken it all, that's a different situation. But still, that sanskar is there. So when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we do not talk about ourselves alone. We have proved it even during the pandemic, when the world was struggling with this most, unknown entity devastating the world. When the rich countries, when they developed the vaccine, there began the vaccine nationalism. They looked at it as an opportunity to make money. They raised the prices of their vaccines. It is India, despite its problem, while we had our own problem of over 1.3 billion people. While we kept meeting our need, we did not stop sharing with the world, and we provided vaccine to more than 150 countries in the world. This is our sanskar. This is what we are. So when we talk about sustainable space, it is not just a threat that comes out of this reckless use of a space. Of course, that is a problem, there's no doubt about it, we are. But we are not inspired by that alone out of sense of fear, but also the sense of respect. But because we believe in the integral being of this universe. At some level, in the subconscious level, we look at all these as divine. And we don't like to desecrate the divine. That is our way of looking at it. Friends, we all know that a space today, or an application of a space, there is hardly any aspect of our day-to-day life which is not touched by, or significantly touched by, space-based applications. Whether we watch the different direct-to-home TVs in your houses, to GPS mobile, when we drive our cars, to all these various things have been mentioned, whether disaster management, weather predictions, telemedicine, so many, it is endless. You just can't keep counting, it will keep adding to it. And in the age of IoTs, Internet of Things, when you have more and more things are being done by the machines, all connected through artificial intelligence, with the 5G rolling out in the country, we'll have greater and greater reliance on our space-based assets. While we have to do that, we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep ahead of the curve. We have also to ensure that there is an order in this management of space, the use of the outer space. Now the global common, as we call it, the global common invariably in the past has been dominated by the powerful countries. When initially we thought about the oceans as a global common, and some attempts were made to define the rules of the maritime rules of the seas, some countries chose not to obey it. Some countries just started turning some certain parts of the ocean as their lakes, as their backwaters, and they started dominating those areas. Now the global common has been under threat. The cyber is one area, another area where we don't have yet any kind of agreed regulations. Again, is a global common. Outer space is another global common. We have yet to know. Way back, expression of intent was made on the 10th of October, on the day on which our week would conclude. The responsible use of space, outer space. But these remain mere wishes, pious wishes. How do we regulate that? How do we ensure that any infringement of that is not easy, make it difficult? Mere a reiteration of good wishes that a space must be used for the peaceful purpose is not going to ensure that the space will be used for peaceful purposes. The powerful countries will use it for their interest. We all know how today the use of a space is so critical to the defense of the country. I'm not talking about defense in a more subtle sense where your various services, critical services can be paralyzed. But even in the actual warfare, the space has, or space-based assets play a very, very significant role. Today, between sensor to shooter, the time is microseconds. How do you do that? It is only through higher and higher technologies. Now in this the age of competing technologies for competing power for superiority in the world, India has a special responsibility because India is morally, by its sanskar, it does not believe in hegemonic control, hegemonic superiority. It believes in the world as a family. For that, to ensure mere reiteration of the world is a family is not going to help us. We have to be the leading guardian of the outer space. And this leading guardian of the outer space, for us to be, it is you and your successors who will ensure that we have that capability in the space. That would ensure that infringement does not happen. And if it happens with a cost. People, everyone, is not subscribed to that sense of goodness. The greed, we have seen the world wars, we have seen the unleashing of nuclear weapons, we have seen how human beings can be cruel, can be selfish. There is no guarantee they will not be selfish. And by all trends, that is, we see they have not abandoned their selfishness even in the outer space. So we have a huge responsibility to be the leading guardian of the outer space, for which the country will look upon you, for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the world. Friends, we all know that this 15th August, the country has entered a very, very, very crucial phase of our history. What is called, Prime Minister called, the Amrit Kal. This Amrit Kal of 25 years, by the time in 2047 this country would be celebrating the centenary of independence, where the country should be. Where the country should be is decided. We have to reach there. We have to be a developed country. We have to be the leader to lead the world for the benefit of collective humanity. And that is for that to achieve, this period, as Prime Minister calls it, is Kartabya Kal. It is a duty period. It is a period of duty for all of us, how each one of us, we are going to contribute to it. And in this endeavor, you must have seen the change that is seen in last couple of years. For a very, very long time, the management of this country, its resources, were largely driven by the government. Government was my baap. Government used to be the determinant of the future. This is a country of over 1.3 billion people. There are people outside the government. There are young men and women outside the government, entrepreneurs, industrialists, who are capable of, they are no less wise. Many times we find them wiser than us. No less imaginative. Why don't we harness their talent, their potential. And that is why when the Prime Minister gave a call, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, he added Sabka Prayas. Let it be a collective effort of all. And look at the benefit of the collective effort. If the country is moving ahead, it's not just because the government is only a small part of it. It is the people of this country who are pushing the country forward, taking it forward. If in 2014 we had less than 400 startups, and if today we have more than 70,000 startups, it is our young men and women who are doing it. Other day, when some young men working, using the facilities of IIT Madras, those who are Agnikul, those who are associated with you and you are the one doing the hand holding, they came and made a presentation to me. It was so heartening, so inspirational, that look at this young men, and many places our young women, they are thinking which was unthinkable till a few years back. They are building launch vehicles, rockets, to carry payloads of 30 kilogram to 300 kilogram, smaller, at a low cost. Now look at the imagination, look at the potential. Now, when we celebrate the Space Week, we need to stimulate the thinking of our people, our young men and women. We need to stimulate the thinking of our students, right from the school age. I didn't have the benefit of a space scientist or anyone. At the time in India, nobody talked about space. But still, as a child, we used to dream about going to the stars. It's a different thing that I landed in the administration. I did pursue in my subject, my study as astrophysics, but destiny would have it, I landed up. But today, with such a galaxy of scintillating bright men and women in the domain of space science, we should be able to reach out to our students in schools and colleges, stimulate them more and more, create greater awareness, encourage them to think new, think something outlandish, start, experiment. That's how this country will grow. This is how this country will reach the destination of the leadership of the world in the next 25 years. It is a tough task, but a task we have no option. There is no alternative to achieving it. We have to achieve it. And in this, our journey to the leadership, space is very, very crucial. You are the one who would be carrying it largely. You will be lending your shoulders to this growth. And I'm sure not only I, but the country has so much trust in you all that you will not fail the country. You will take the country to that height. I wish this institution, the assembly of our space scientists here and elsewhere in the country, all the very best. I wish you all to gain greater heights in your personal, professional career, personal life, and thereby add more glory to this country. I wish our director, Sri Rajan and his entire team, all the very best in the next 1 week of this conducting your Space Week, these various programs that you have lined up, you have conducted already, and perhaps many more you will be conducting. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful talk, and thank you for recalling pioneers of ISRO on this auspicious occasion and their efforts to shape ISRO. With this, we have come to the end of inaugural function. I request Srimati M.S. Shanti, General Manager SDSC-SHAR, to propose vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to one and all. It's my privilege to offer vote of thanks for the World Space Week 2022 inaugural function being hosted by Satish Dhawan Space Center SHAR, the Spaceport of India. This occasion marks a grand start of World Space Week celebrations across the 4 states, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Odisha from 4th to 10th of this month, and has set the tempo for the events to follow. First and foremost, on behalf of SDSC-SHAR and Organizing Committee, our sincere thanks to the chief guest of today's function, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, who made his presence possible at Satish Dhawan Space Center SHAR on this momentous occasion in spite of his schedules and has declared the World Space Week celebrations open. Thank you, sir, for graciously accepting our invitation and coming all the way to Sriharikota for gracing this event. Your august presence with your thought-provoking, valuable speech has a memorable impact for each one of us present on this occasion. Our heartfelt thanks to the Director of the Center, Shri A. Rajarajan, who is presiding over this function, for his continuous guidance, dwelling deeper into the details of preparedness every time we approached him. His perseverance has ensured that the program today has set a mark for itself. As Administrative Chief, Controller SDSC-SHAR, Shri M. Srinivasulu Reddy's role has been very significant to bring the program to the present shape with his excellent planning, close monitoring with much needed importance. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to Shri R. Sendil Kumar, Deputy Director, Management Systems Area and Chairman, Organizing Committee, World Space Week 2022, for his continuous guidance and involvement in each and every minute aspect for the event preparedness and for the events ahead. Our thanks to CSF Commandant and her team for their support and participation in conducting this event. Our sincere thanks to the august officers of Honorable Ghana, team educational officers, teachers, institutional heads of private schools and colleges, students of Space Central School, and to the students of various schools present here. Thanks are due to the officials of civic administration in joining hands with SDSC-SHAR on this occasion for the fulfillment of the protocol for this function. Our sincere thanks to SAMC and SEC members, my parent division's range operations team, technical photography, construction and maintenance group, transport operations team, public health, horticulture, administration, canteen, and library in execution of the program. I thank the leaders and members of the service bodies whose involvement in the planning and execution is commendable. My special thanks to the print and digital media. Through their words and clicks, I have taken Satish Dhawan Space Center SHAR and our outreach activities in large to the general public. Finally, this type of event needs detailed planning and bird's eye view for every instant. We are fortunate to be supported by a very active and dedicated team who completed the task beyond their comfort zones and joined hands for World Space Week 2022 inaugural function. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Let us all rise and sing national anthem together.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you one and all for joining us. I request all to be seated till the chief guest leaves the venue. I request all to be remain seated till the chief guest leaves the venue. Please remain seated.